Hey guys, in this video I sat down with Ryan Pallett. He's a character concept artist who's worked on games like Apex Legends and PUBG. Ryan is known for his Mobius-style cartoony character drawings. All of his art is really fun to look at and it always tells an interesting story. Ryan has some of the coolest sketchbooks I've seen, and in this video we'll talk about the importance of keeping a sketchbook and how he keeps it fun. Thanks, and now onto the video.
I finished it in like a couple months.
Nice, man. Yeah.
Just because it was like
shredding.
It was super fun to draw, and yeah. So some Saurons. That's kind of what I was doing the whole time. The whole Lightbox. I was just drawing Sauron the whole time, for some reason. Yeah. Because like the shapes were fun to do, and like this specific shot of him, and like doing these like just really exaggerated shapes
and stuff.
The ones were pretty fun. The I was doing a D&D. It was something for D&D. I was designing some characters, and I wanted to do some lion sketches. I don't know why. Like, I don't want to call them furries, but like anthropomorphic animals are just really fun to draw. Like sometimes more interesting than human faces. Like, love this wizard dog guy. Super fun.
Yeah. It seems like you're playing around with just different ideas and different concepts all the time, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I like to jump around. I think I get distracted really easily, so it's hard to stick to one thing. But if I find something that I like, I'll do it for like 5-6 pages, you know? Yeah. And like the idea kind of like changes here, you know? It becomes the hunched guy, and then his like neck starts stretching out, and then there's like all these like stretched out neck, like dragon, like almost like mystics from Dark Crystal.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then this is like for a commission, and some more fantasy characters, and like a raven character and everything, and yeah, just Game of Thrones, you know.
Nice.
More Sauron, some sci-fi stuff. Finally, we get into sci-fi. It's a guy with masks. Got to do that.
Yeah. The wizards, and I love the way you do shapes. I mean, it's so confident, and it's like it's like you're using a shorthand and you're playing around with everything just to like, I don't know, get the idea down. And
yeah. I mean, you're totally right. I mean, even like looking at these, like these are kind of scuffed, you know. I mean, there's definitely a lot of scuffed drawings in here, you know, but yeah, it's mostly just about getting the idea down, and I think that's what I like about sketchbooks, is that there isn't this expectation to be really finished, you know. You can do a nice finished drawing, you know, but I think the sketchy ones, like the simplifications, are just as fun, and like being able to describe something in shorthand is like being able to, like, I think this is one of my favorite drawings in the sketchbook. I don't know why, like I really just like how simple his face is, but like the line economy is nice, but it like tells a lot. Like there's a lot there, you know.
Yeah. Well, and you don't have to have super complicated, pretty sketchbooks for it to be like worth the time and valuable. Like your sketchbook is super sick to look at, and
thank you.
Like cool stories, and
yeah, I mean it's pretty in a different kind of way, you know. It's like it's fun to look at the drawings, and it's fun to see the little scribbles and lines and stuff, and like I like this one a lot, and like I was having fun doing this like woven pattern, and I want to get away from like this kind of stuff though. I want to like if I were to go back and draw this again, like I'd put more like woven items. Like I want to get into like textures and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, and like do some like weird shit like that, and like more context, more like realistic context.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. I just wanted to take a second to talk about the mentorships I'm hosting. Learning art is really hard, and at times it can be pretty difficult to know how to move forward. That's where a mentorship can really help. Having somebody to bounce ideas off of, be critiqued by, and having general advice on the directions you want to go can save tons of trial and error trying to figure it out on your own. Personally, I spent a ton of time trying to learn as much as I can from other people. And that's because generally someone else has solved the problem that you're trying to solve, so you don't have to figure it out all on your own. If you head over to my Patreon link below, I'm charging $150 a month for a 1-hour mentorship call, access to me through Discord, and drawovers and written critiques of your artwork. If you end up trying it out and it's not for you, no hard feelings. I'll give you a full refund. Thanks, and back to the video. For someone that wants to sketch more, do you have any advice for that?
I would say I think it takes a fair amount of like study and practice to get to a point where you can sketch comfortably, because I think it's hard being confident when you don't know things, you know. So, I mean, I've done a bunch of figure drawing. I've done so much figure drawing, and even then, it's like I can just get like a rough pose out, like a simple pose, you know.
Yeah. I was talking to a comic artist once, and he was saying that comic artists learn like 12 different poses, and then they just like change that around, add different costumes, and all.
Makes sense. Yeah, like interchangeable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like you're going to be drawing so much, like you need to. Yeah, you need to figure it out. I mean, I even saw like people with like I saw this thing about people with like a web comic, like they'll have hands or like expressions,
right,
and they'll just like put them on the page, you know, like they'll have a bunch of finished ones and like swap them out, like they're doing like almost like stop motion or something.
Well, so they put the facial expressions first, and then they draw the thing around the figure around it.
They'll like so I think the way it works is like they'll like rough it out on the page. They'll like rough out like they'll probably have a set of expressions, you know, that this character is going to go through, and then they'll just rough out their pages, and then wherever that expression at that angle is, they'll pop it in.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's one of the best drawings in here for sure.
That's fucking sick, dude.
That's crazy. I like doing effects is really fun too. I like doing little like globby effects.
Yeah.
Cowboys always fun. I want to get better at drawing like 6-shooters and guns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very fun to render with pen. Like I think it looks super nice in pen.
Yeah.
See, this is like you can be a little more finished. Like this isn't super finished either, but like way more than any of the other stuff.
Yeah.
And like it's fun to do that too every once in a while.
Do you have any particular artists that you're trying to emulate with this sort of with your sketchbook?
I don't think so in particularly. I think I'm just trying to get my idea. The main thing I'm thinking about is trying to get my idea across as well as I can.
Yeah.
There are some times where I'll look at an artist and I'll want to accomplish some of the same like marks that they make, you know, like a similar mark making style.
Yeah.
But like I mean I look at Mobius a lot. I like Mobius's like his like little, you know, like if he does like a shape, you know, and there's like a wrap through the form, then I'll kind of like you know, do like a little like something like that, you know. I like that like very line and dot heavy style, and I've been trying to do that with my digital stuff.
Right.
But yeah, just like Sketchbook's all just random shit, like OCs and like characters that I'm, you know, that I want to develop, and you know, just random stuff pretty much. I mean,
Did you have any particular goals? Like when you pick up a sketchbook, do you have like a goal for the sketchbook, or is it just kind of what you feel like that day?
I mean, I think generally the goal for the sketchbook is to be better, maybe be better than the previous sketchbook, or try and make things that you like, you know, just like I think each time that you open a new sketchbook, you should want to be more like careless. I think you should want to be careless about a sketchbook to a certain extent, you know. Like you shouldn't want to be making pages that have like really good composition. It's my girlfriend. You shouldn't be wanting to like it's like the same thing with like the mindset, right? Like you want to be in it having fun. You don't want to be thinking about like, oh, I'm going to make this have a nice composition so that people will, you know, like respond to it well, right?
Yeah.
You want to be able to get into it and have fun, and the best way to do that in a sketchbook, I think, is just to be like, okay, well, I'm going to do a bunch of shitty drawings. Like, there's going to be a lot of shitty drawings in here, and then, you know, the good composition pages, they'll reveal themselves eventually, you know, like focusing on like allowing yourself to let loose is the most important thing first.
Yeah, I think a big part of being a successful artist is like embracing the failures, because everyone I know who's like an awesome artist, they like have way more failures than they do have successes. Like an order of magnitude way more.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like I went and saw. I went to a workshop of Ruan Jia.
Yeah.
And dude, like he does like some crazy paintings. Like his paintings are super high fidelity and like really like super detailed, and like the complexities of color he gets are really crazy. And like, and then he was like, oh yeah, and I have all my sketchbooks here just so you guys can see. And they're like, there's like 50 of these like little sketchbooks, you know, like not even that big, and they're all just like this. It's like the same drawing, like slightly different over for like 10 pages, and you're like, God damn, like this guy's
hyper.
You just got to put in the numbers. Like the numbers have to be there, you know. Like and like and I mean he achieves the numbers. Like it's crazy. Like he's got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, these are awesome, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was doing like a weird cyber. The cyber one's kind of interesting. I was doing this like. I want to develop this guy a little more. This like, this cowboy, this like kind of Mobius-looking cowboy. This guy's kind of cool. There's a couple. I don't remember what's coming up in here.
Monkey man.
Yeah, some monkey. I think I was talking to Kevin.
About monkeys.
Yeah.
I'll show Kevin's monkeys on the screen for the sake. I'm gonna do a sketchbook tour with Kevin as well. So
there we go.
Yeah. People can see his sketchbook.
Excellent. More figure drawing. I do some figure drawing in the sketchbooks from time to time. I think it's good to like. It's a good way to let loose.
How long do you spend on one of these drawings? Is this like a 30-minute per drawing sort of thing, or is it?
It depends. Like, I think I did this in like 20 minutes. These two little guys. Oh yeah. Whoa! I got one page that's not done in here.
Oh, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's not. I don't think I have a good like, but they're not very long. Like, I think it depends on the idea too. Like, and if you can get the train rolling, you know, at a certain speed. Yeah, I think like some of this earlier stuff is fun. But like the more I look at this sketchbook now, the more I'm like, yeah, I could do better.
Yeah, totally get it.
But I like when I first was looking through it, I'm like, oh, this is like there's so much.
Yeah.
Like I love what's going on in here, but
well, I think that's the thing about being an artist is you're so like everyone is so self-critical of their own work, but other people will look at it and be like, oh, that's awesome, that's super cool to see.
Yeah, I think my favorite drawing that I've done recently, is this
nice.
one right here, this little mole.
Those are awesome.
Just this guy right here.
It seems like it's deviating a little bit from your normal style. You know, it seems more like. I don't know, Fire Emblem-y a little bit, maybe?
I don't know. Yeah, I just wanted to try... I'm not sure what it was. I think I wanted to explore the, like, shape, the proportion relationship between...
Yeah.
You know, like, I just love how big their hands are, and...
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I have some fun stuff in here. I'm trying to channel Josh Sunga, if you know.
Oh, yeah. I know Sunga.
Yeah, so like some of these little...
Yeah, him and Kevin work together, actually. I think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like some of these little...
Yeah.
Like robot guys.
I had Sunga on the podcast, too, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I need to see that. I need to see that one. I gotta... I've been meaning to go and sketch with him, too.
Yeah.
And we just, like, haven't... Well, especially since I've been working the double. It's been difficult. This is a good one here. This little guy.
Nice. That's sick.
Yeah, I like some of these. Like I think what currently is satisfying for me in a good drawing is like having a well-defined like kit, you know, or like like really getting into the personality of the character,
right.
And
the stuff they carry and
and like making sure that their outfits are lived in, you know.
Yeah, well, for me, there's like an aspect of that even in this van where I have this sword that I bought as like a cool desk or like a cool thing. I have I have this axe.
Hey, well. Nice.
So
that's That's
like a real axe.
Wait, can I see that?
Yeah, for sure. But I think there is something about like I'm never gonna use it in any sort of practical way.
Very nice.
But there's something cool about the designing of your space or designing your characters in a way that you know it's like having the satchels and the potions and all that kind
Absolutely.
of stuff.
The things that make your character and not just some guy with the same like job.
Yeah, right.
More figure drawing. Let's see if there's anything else. See this? This is why I hate pencil. It's so smudgy. It just gets all smudgy.
Do you do everything in just like a Bic ballpoint pen?
I prefer Bic. Some Penguin Samurai guys. I prefer the ballpoint pen just because it's kind of like pencil, but it's not so smudgy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean,
cool.
I don't think I have anything else. Yeah, no.
Awesome, man.
Oh,
That's cool.
yeah. I mean, you gotta have a sketchbook. You gotta have a place to. It's like the practice range.
Yeah,
you
trying
know?
stuff out. Well, and I remember Ian McKegg saying something like, I saw him at one of the Spectrum events at Gallery Nucleus once, and I nerded out. Like I was probably like 19 when I met him. And
Nice.
He was telling me something like, you gotta have 2 sketchbooks, one where you study in and one where you do everything that you love in. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
And having that thing where you're just like unapologetically drawing whatever you want, doing random nonsense, doing stuff that, like, you'll intentionally never show it to anybody.
Yeah.
Lets it be like a playground for you to just try out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like if I thought about, like, when I started the sketchbook, like, oh, I'm gonna show its entirety, like all of its contents to to people on the internet, like I probably wouldn't have made it this way, you know?
Right.
Like it would have impacted the way that I made the sketchbook.
Right. Well, and I think to me that's like one of the more important things about art is, again, we're talking about in the podcast, just doing it in a way where you're not worried about what other people think. You're, first and foremost, your sensibilities and your tastes.
Yeah. It's tough, man, because it's like, I think it's really about knowing when to listen and when to put your head down, and like do your own thing. Because like being able to, because you have to do both, like you can't not listen to people, but ultimately, like on certain things, you definitely need to trust your gut,
Well, I think ultimately, it was might have been, I don't think this is his name, but like Rick Rubin's like a famous musician, big bearded guy, like he's a producer on like all the modern like tons of famous musicians. And he was saying that people pay him for his taste more so than anything. Like, just like what sounds better, what works, what wouldn't work, and like I think as an artist, they're paying for your sensibilities and your ability to put like a stake in the sand. And be like, it's worth it for me to draw cool ass night dogs and stuff.
Yeah, and I mean that's one way to, like, if you're working to like get over that imposter syndrome, you're like they just played a prank on me. Like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, you have to tell yourself, like, they didn't hire you because you know how to do, like, because you know how to make like some random design like that anyone else could make. It's because they want you to do it the way you do it. With your specific, like, potentially bizarre, like, eccentric sensibilities of how to do it. And to me, it's like some of my favorite projects in the past 10 years have been just like kind of wacky side. Like Stardew Valley comes to mind as a thing. Just like a farming game when everyone's doing like Halo ripoffs, and then it becomes one of the biggest shooters. It becomes a massive game and stuff. It's because people resonate with something that's being told genuinely and is made out of love, and it's like it's a passion project,
Right.
Yeah, I mean it's the reason why, like, people, like, even just with movies recently, like Everything Everywhere All at Once is like everyone loves that movie, but like, I mean, did like the Marvel movie, did like the last Marvel movie make more money than Everything Everywhere? I don't know, maybe, but like people don't give it nearly as much of a shit about it, because it's not genuine. Right,
it's not nearly as memorable, and pitching Everything Everywhere All at Once to a board of executives would never fly,
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to, not without like cutting some of the like the things that make it true to itself, so it's like even in that field, you gotta be able to put your head down and like trust your gut, and be ready for things to like blow up in your face, you know, like you got to be okay with that scenario, I guess.
Yeah.
Or like be telling yourself, you know, be naive and be like, it's going to be fine.
Yeah. Or they're stupid. You know, they don't know what they're missing out on.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So we've successfully flipped through your entire sketchbook. Is there anything you want to say, or how should people follow you online?
Yeah, just my name, Ryan Pallett, Pallett. I mean, everyone spells it wrong because they're like, oh yeah, like the art thing. I'm like, no, not like that, not like anything really. Yeah. So
cool.
More like the Pokemon town than anything else.
Pallett Town.
Yeah.
Nice.
But no, that's pretty much it.
Sick.
Just
awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Cool.